This will be episode 73, cycle 1221 and onward. Just gotta go get stuck into it. Now then. I need to scout out the area to the east in space. See what the heck is over there with the rocket that we launched last episode. And we need to definitely fully clean out Rudabo and the others. Possibly land on the water world. I really want to go for the tungsten planet tonight. Because, that's duly noted, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be about 4, maybe 3 episodes left. Until we can start actually cooling down completely the core. To where I can run steel. And also can fully vent out everything in the core. Because, yeah. 289, 284, 80. Yeah, it's getting there. We are going to clean this out next, though, for sure. Let me make sure everything is loaded. Usual priority check. We get stuck right in. Go. Lag for a second. Okay, cool. So, yeah. I see Kellen. Kellen. Or Ike. Kellen? I don't know how to pronounce that one. I'm gonna say I see Kellen. ICKELIN. No freaking earthly. Oh, it escaped. I see. That's all working. I have so much work that needs to be done here, and I need to ship over a ton of resources. Suck, but it needs to be done. Okay, dupes. Go over here. Okay. Once this is completely cleaned out, I'll poke a hole here, dismantle this, and work on it. I have to clean this out to be able to get down here effectively. How are you guys doing? Doing okay. Not great, though. Could be better. A lot better. Cancel that. Better that. Actually, work. clean that up. Okay, all of that has been vented. I'm gonna remove that one first. Then this one. Construction, go. Yeah. Pretty sure the dupes can't get down there yet. As per usual, gotta remove this one. Kinda sucks, but yeah. We'll just rebuild it. Once we clean the entire thing out. Okay, now. You get this ladder in, we'll clean this thing out, fix the bug that happened with this tile getting, well, self-deleted. Which was really bad, but it should be fixable now. Hopefully. Prototype gang, get back here. God damn it, man. God damn it. Everything. Being still en route, that's fine. Well, that will take them a while to get to it. Okay, Dave, just get down here and start cleaning this up. Come on, dupes. You can do it. Clean it up. That one. That one. Raising water is a transfer medium, so it's perfectly fine if it gets emptied onto the ground. But only regular water. There we go. Misclicked. Should be able to clean that on up. Once they do so, better. Okay. Hopefully the dips get around to cleaning that up. Or I have to completely reseal it back in. Another oxyferrin. Oh, a glow stick dupe though. On the stomach. Damn it. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's kind of annoying. They're decorating, tidying researcher. A glow stick, a shriveled taste bud, which is fantastic. And nyctophobic, which glow stick affects that, and it's fantastic. Bottomless stomach. I think I'm gonna take them. I don't know what planet to take them on. We are making excess food here. They are a decorator, and we don't have a decorator here. They technically get their own bedroom because they can't sleep with the rest of the dupes because they glow. You know what? That is fine. I would take the Oxyfern. Nails actually is a pretty good dupe. Okay, let's go grab my list. Da-da. Okay, command root, let's pull you up, shall we? Focus. Let's get you guys in here. Who will it be? Question. Meek Sire, Club Howdy, Lex, and got Socks, which I already have Socks in here. Who else? Oh yeah, we have Yuki B. You know what? I'll do Yuki B. That works. Yuki B. Welcome to the base. The next one will be Zimk Sire. At least from the subscriber pool. Other pool, I'll just throw a randomizer and see what we get. But, Yuki B. Welcome to the base. Now, you are gonna sleep there. And I also need to add another table. Question. Where? They are a decorator, so technically, if I send over some basic resources, we could probably do something underneath. And get rid of the panel and put that there. Okay, there you go. And let's pull you up this. Now, you are going to actually get researching to start. And the reason being is that increases your ability to do everything else. So your priorities. Studying high. Researching minimum. Decorating high. Low, building low, ranching non-existent, farming low, upgrading 1, cooking, oh, new cooking, marketry, fair doctoring, toggling, find them, set up their schedule, really matter what thing that they're actually in. B team. That'll do. And that'll be all them. I don't have to worry about it. Most part works for me. How many Germans are left on it? 1.5 million. They're almost dead. I can use them to my heart's content on the mushroom. Soon. Now is the crude oil. Crude oil is backing up. Okay. Oops. Have you guys, like, actually cleaned this stuff up or what? Come on, guys. I'm gonna pick everything up. You need to do that. Production. Next priority that. That way I can seal this room vented of all of its hydrogen, link it up with the steam room over here, and we can start crushing the, like, 700 degree salt that we have in certain areas that need to be, well, it needs to be cleaned up. There's a lot of other salt coming in through here. Those are temperatures. Oh, perfect. A little hot there. 137 degrees. Oops. Don't leave that there. What are you doing? Left a giant chunk of obsidian just sitting there. I worry about my duplicates from time to time. I really do. Sometimes I just find every single reliable way to torment the hell out of me. Not in a good way. I should probably not have any overlap. These will be temporary anyway. Do it like that. That should be fine. Let me add another storage bit inside the steam room so that way we can actually keep this stuff up. Not having to worry about it too much. Probably a better option. Looks like all the pups are doing okay inside the rocket. That's fine. Let's see. Gene, how you holding up? They're going, yes, science. Apparently blasting past me, Talon. Oh, there it goes. Good, good. Okay, how is Dripple going? Not well. Row it. That. That up. That up. Might need to run that a little bit more. It's looking okay-ish. Not great, just okay-ish. Everything else looks good. I don't really have to worry about it too much. We'll have to come back here soon, just not. Yes, our petroleum boiler will be here. I may end up doing a different design than I normally do, but only slightly. We will see. I kind of have something in mind that I'm like, it could work. I'll have to test it later. I have all this space over here, and it's like, could incorporate it on the left. Oh no, OBS just got lost connection for a second. Okay, well, OBS is currently having an issue. Check everything else. Nope, everything else is good. Just OBS again. Dang it. OBS. Why? Why you do this? Why? Never understand. Oh, give it a second. I can wait. Thankfully, ONI has a pause button. I'm still getting really fucking annoyed with how crap the internet can be lately. Because we keep getting these little microstorms. And they're off like miles away from me, but they're still affecting everything. There's only 2 routes for the internet to leave this area. And if one gets disrupted, then normally the other one overloads. And that is normally the biggest problem. Definitely frustrating. Oh, Twitch is reconnected completely. That's not an issue. I can just OBS now, waiting on it to reconnect. So, hello YouTube. Ugh. I know there's not that many of you, but I'm glad that you guys have been enjoying this. This is one of the reasons why it's been a little bit harder to maintain recordings. At least as of late. Mostly just due to the issues. But, OBS is reconnected. We are good to go. Welcome back, chat. Hopefully it reconnects quickly. Yep, there it goes. Oh, I should say chat reconnected quickly. You guys didn't miss anything. You're just sitting here waiting. I am very tempted to put a weed here. just to irradiate the thing. Technically, all I need to do is allow a pip to come over here. like finally seal that in. If I seal this in, the pips can't leave. What I can do is I can pick up all the seed. No. Put 2 doors down. Not there. What's the range on a Weezewort? Oh yeah, that's fine. Pick one right there. Technically, it will probably leak through a little bit on the downward tile. Yeah, a little bit. Not enough to really warrant an issue. And plastic too. Just do it like that. Clean up the mealwood, put a pip in here, slap down a Weezewort, let them naturally plant it, and that should be able to clean all of our current food. Like, the amount of crap that's going to be coming into here very shortly. Probably do that beforehand. That. Construction to a 9. Well, and this. Nope. How much have they cleaned up? Okay, they got almost all of it. Good. Okay, let me move this ladder. Reinstall a steam turbine. And we'll reseal the room, vent the oil refinery, and then we'll be good to go. And hopefully that tile doesn't glitch out and disappear on me again. That is the primary hope. If this tile or this tile disappears again, well, we gotta do this again. Hopefully the chips can get around to that quickly, so I don't have to worry about it. I break those, poke their asses and get them all nice and cleaned up. Best. Well, the cleanup's going out pretty well. It's nice seeing all this finally just removed of dirt and debris. All the Pabaku, for most part, are down here in this lake. Pretty big lake, to be honest. In there. One there. And there's the little lake that we've got up here, which I probably do need to seal in. Golden algae, probably just. Wrap this thing completely around. High priority that. That should be fine. Obviously, I'll get rid of this one charge so we can seal that all in. The ladder's still there. Yeah, that should be fine. We'll probably have some overfill though, I think. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Nope. Last thing that needs to be done. Out of the bathroom, guys. Yuki, seeing you're new to the base, you're very slow. Move your butt. There you go. Yuki! Bathroom! There you go. What are you doing? Bathroom, now! Move yourself. You know what? I'm gonna actually put you here. They may get disturbed sleep though, but they should be fine. Yeah, there goes the overflow. That's fine. Yeah, expected. Yep, that's perfectly fine. Alpaca's stuck. Nope. They are, for the most part, content. I want to do a conveyor loader and bring it on up to the food bin. My dupes don't need to come back down here. Still debating about how I'm going to do an actual Paku tank. Like the lowest UPS input is just a one tile water blob. Hilarious, but that is what it is. Alright, the construction for those. And once this gets vented out, then I can actually come in here and fully seal everything and then not care. There you go. Sealed in now. Billing has returned. 269.5. Good, good. Pipe is starting to back up a bit. Get that sealed in. Not build it in the inside bucket. You know better than this. This is why I'm watching you. I saw that. Don't think I didn't notice. Number one rule of action not included. Never trust your dupe. Trust the game. Don't trust the dupe. Do everything in their power to get themselves killed. And that is also by any means necessary. Need steel, I do. Nations, cobalt. Leave it inside. And for the most part, I'm probably going to need to run a double for this. Need to be planning for building a power spine. Like really badly. I can't actually build one here. This red zone is where it will melt. I kind of have to like jimmy my way around it. Probably like go down here, cross over a little bit. What do? I'll figure something out. I'll be stuck, good. Downside, gotta wait on this thing to pump everything. Like, it can't even comprehend how much CO2 needs to be removed. Shit. Well. It's all gonna get vented out into space anyway at some point. I'm gonna deconstruct that for a moment. The main reason being is it needs to just go straight out to space. All gases. I don't care what. We're overproducing anyway, it's not a big deal. Oh, max gas pressure. This thing can't run until the room is cleaned anyway. That one single problem of this tile self-deleting itself caused me much grief for quite a few cycles now. Okay, you guys can all have those in. Not the tinies. I just the big. And for seeds. Need 1 kilogram. Good, oops. Grab the mealwoods, please. Thank you. Drop that. Deconstruct this container. Wait for this cuddle pip to plant that. Got 5 cycles to figure it out. You ramp up the construction for that. Mostly pretty good. Still gotta vent this little area here. Come on, cuddle pip. Plant the seed. 1 plant here. This might... actually no, it's on the left hand side. I don't know. This might be causing a problem. Nope, nope, never mind. Hooray, they figured it out. Germs. 37% kill rate. Good job, Pip. Radiation all around. Plastic and do the rest. Just gonna put a wall here. All there. It's all barely 10, so that's perfectly fine. Red dosage, barely 10. Okay. Hey, new planetoid detected. Hey, it's the cryo planet. What do you got? Got iron. Thank goodness. Both a tungsten and iron volcano sets. Good news. Radioactive crust though. Peak light is only 10,000. Cosmic radiation 50. Okay. Work with that. Neat. Almost out of fuel. Checking the last couple locations. Yeah, you removed this entire chunk. Good job, bud. Obviously, you found the planet, which cleaned most of that up. But pretty good. Destination. Go on. You're getting the trip back. Good work, Gene. No. Replanning purposes. Tripole is probably a launch point for the tungsten, as well as the ice planet. Tripole has now become my most important planet. Good thing we're working on fully cleaning out the entire world and getting things set up. Oh boy. I have a lot of work to do. Good news though, because that means that once I build one primary launching platform over here on the left, probably a nuclear power plant right down here, if we need it. I don't really know if we'll need another reactor. But I can send an infinite amount of cobalt and gold everywhere. That's really good. Obviously, I'll need to cool it all down. Therein lies the problem, but besides that, I think we're pretty good. It's really good news. I was absolutely hoping it wouldn't be the lava world. If the lava world wants to show up, please be this node. That way I could just, when we get to this one, I can bounce off to there. .8 kilograms. Paint. So much CO2 up there. Lex, why are you wounded? What? You're my cook. Ow. All the bees are alive. Did you get, pinched by the poke shells Schrodinger style again? Did they poke you while you were on the rock crusher cooking down here again? Not the first time that's happened, but probably won't be the last either. March would be frustrating. Cobalt. Connected. I will need to connect this over it. That's an independent line. Reasons. I just want to take this up. You know what? That would work better. It'll look better too. So much slime lung in here. It's slowly dying. So slowly. Radiation helps. I'm just gonna add a wall here. Libs technically can climb over it, but it should block more of the radiation than not. I'll just replace that all with plastic. It doesn't reach there. It's so close. It doesn't reach. Just because you're a glow stick does not mean that you should be standing. It's like, just because you're radiation resistant doesn't mean that you should be standing near a micro reactor. Down to 13. Good. That's reasonable. Oh. Reasonable for dupes, I should say. Oh, more steel. There's a Wren, though. Handy. Ludite. Tabby Gesture. Bells. Not interested. Nicola with Kitchen Menace as a cook. Weirdly enough, not the worst thing I've seen. Mouth Breather, though, kills it. And then Stinky with Digging, Building, Crop Tending. Germ Resistant, and Nyctophobic, which isn't the worst thing, but we could do a hell of a lot better. Paku are trapped. Probably put a container there. And I also need to add 2. Technically, I can use a basic wire. Problem with this, though, there's a high likelihood that I'm going to blow this line. I can use this as a temporary setup until until the gold volcano goes up again. start reproducing more gold. Like convert all the heavy watt wires into well, heavy watt conductive wires into gold. Repair all that. Unreachable toilets. Where? Who? What? Oops. Okay, well that's fine. Gene, how you doing? All of your fuel, good man. Explored quite a bit actually. I'll be back in 1.8 cycles. Full. One cycle. Re-aim all of these over to the diamond processor. Obviously until our rocket gets back. $271 kilograms of CO2 that needs to be moved. Good, actually. All of it's just getting vented out into space for the time being. I'll be happy when this is finally finished. Let's hope this doesn't break again. Well, disappear, I should say. If it had broken, I would have had material down here, and the game would have warned me. That was not the case. It just disappeared when I loaded up the game. Which is really not good. Now. What? How in the bloody hell? My dupes can't get in here. How did oxygen get in there? What the actual... What? My dupes can't get in there. They get in here. But... Shit. Yeah, no one's allowed in. Again with teleporting resources. Not good. I have no idea how the hell that happened. That's not good. At the end of the world, just... How in the God's green earth is there that much? Alright, Gibbs, get over here. What in the world happened? I am very concerned because that shouldn't be a thing. Let's check. Yeah, they can't open that door. Nobody can. How the hell did 3,000 grams, 3 kilograms, make it in there? That's not even possible. Oh wait, no, this thing got reset. How the hell did that get reset? Again with the... wait, let me check my animation lines. No, you're fine. How did you get reset? How did 3,000 kilograms... It was like 3 kilograms get in there. We above 600, 900. Double check some things. That's not a good sign. Give me one moment. I need to make sure that my Rodriguez's are okay. 800, 500 for the big one, yes. 600, 900 for the small. Bugs like these can absolutely ruin you. Like, let's just put it this way: this could end up making me waste like 8 hours of work, all because of a stupid bug. Good. You're good. I'm just going to assume that it got reset on save load. That happens. It's really dumb. Not a good thing. I have no idea how that got in there, other than the fact that that got reset. Because that means that this would have pumped all the hydrogen out. But this can't run at all times. Because again, battery is full, it won't run. Unless the override kicks in. The override won't burn all the hydrogen either. I know, my light bulb died. Oh well. There's very little oxygen there. The atmosphere isn't high enough for it to release its temperatures. It's going to take some serious damage. Get a lot of repair and gonna suffer, but it's fine. Just gotta burn off all the excess oxygen, kick it into this room. Vinard, you probably don't want to stand in here. There's a high likelihood we're gonna have pressurization from all the oxygen. I actually need to kick this actually all the way down to 0 to keep it venting. Good. Five. One. I don't think we're gonna make that time. It's gonna back up. I'd be able to trick a dupe to run that thing for a second, but I doubt it. Oops. Please clean up this mess. Mop that up. And that. Okay. Get that done real quick. 9. I'll be pushing it really badly. I'm not happy about that one. He's going back, no problem. Currently passing Talon, good. separate that real quick. Here, 600. Almost got it. Micromanage all of this until it's all balanced again. Again, not at the end of the world, just minor setbacks. That up. Metals. Sleep only. Sleep only all. Seeds. Organic. Critter egg. Clothing. Consumable ore and bio. No, it's 41.6. Crap. It's too hot. Not the buddy buds. And they weren't doing that much to help anyway. They were trying, but they were not succeeding. I think in organics that I should grab is algae. Oh, yep. Yep. That line is going to hate me. I'm so sorry, power lines. I'm so sorry. I need to build an actual centralized power system here. There is no ifs, ands, or buts that they must. This is where all of our volcanoes are that matter for base construction. All high-end sciences that come from the other planets, they're all reachable from this planet. So, congratulations, Drapola is the most important planet in my entire, well, playthrough. Oh, but petroleum, really needing it. For the most part, we kind of skipped it. I'll need it when we get to the point where we're doing sour gas boiling, but before that, not so much. I'm very happy to see my dudes doing all the work, though. Okay. Back up to 100. Looking safe. Okay. That's a good sign. How about you? 251. Make it in time. This looks just make too much oil. Crap. Okay, game? Explain to me how this slickster got in the doorway. No, like literally. How? How old are you? Age 5. The only solution I could think of is the egg grew up in the doorway. That's my best guess. I got nothing other than that. If he somehow walked into the door and then got stuck, I give up with something like that. My brain just goes, I have no idea. That's my best guess. That would be my best assumption. Somehow the egg fell in the doorway and then grew up in the doorway. That's all I got. Mm-hmm. Cat 40 already. Good. Move this. Drain the entire system into this little box. That. May need to add this here. Expand that way. Over there. Completely vented. Good, good. I'm freezing the system already. Hooray! That's what I want to see. I will need to build a cooling loop over here. It'll be for the cobalt. The cobalt will have to be introduced via a insulated tile all the way across. Yeah, this will be... Oh, excuse me. This will be fully insulated all the way across. That cooling box will probably be placed here. And I'll take the gold and do the same exact thing. And obviously we're going to go tile an entire strip all above it. So I can keep the core high. Or at least as high as I possibly can. Nope, cold damage. Up to 11. Why did we get cold damage? Ah, there's an 8 degree in there. Dang it. Get in there and repair it. I'm at the gas pump. Wait a moment. Water we need to remove. Also need to get out of there. Should be good after that. Alright, I might as well just add a bottle empty here. Right here with polluted water. Dump it. Now it's time to add a second laboratory. I might deal with that themselves. So things are good. Safe for now. How's everyone doing on Talon? Looking pretty good. Content with that. Pick that up. All of this needs work. This one just needs to be polluted water. We have a lot of bottle in case we ever accidentally run into polluted water somewhere else. These up. Pipe. Please repair that, dupes. Thank you. Good. Steel, picking up water. Me. Come on, dupes. Prioritize the water near the bottler. Come on. I believe in you a little bit. You are the best of my entire teams. Come on. Thank you. Grab the last little bit. Spoon. Get over here and grab this. Thank you. That's all I wanted to see. Please don't push up in there. And... come on. No! Damn it. I had hope. Hmm. Fill that in and then dig around and under it so I can clean this out. Okay. I'll dig around and under. Like a big block. Get those two. That looks pretty good. Do that. Might as well seal this back in. I know, I know. Done. Good. Go full bladder. To the bathroom. Oh. Ray already had this, you're good. Come on, bud. Make it. You can. One spoon. Take it to the bathroom. I believe in you. Yes. They made it. Really in the close call camp, for sure. Oh. I know. Full bladder as well. Right out of your ass. Literally. Get to the toilets. Hey, what are you at? You're at 94. That's fine. And his spoon's name written all over it though, so that's good. Here they come. Okay, good. That done. You guys holding up. And yeah, do this. If one duplicate uses the bathroom. What? Need pipe block. Ow. Never mind. Ah, that's all good. I don't know why it's giving that error, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, if one duplicate uses the bathroom, this should trigger this, which will then pour all the nice and clean water into the basin. Ooh, thimbleweeds. We could actually use them here. Very empathetic. Version, no way. Narcolept, I love you. Diver's lungs, fantastic. Iron Gut, literally glorious. Downside, no interests of value. Farming's okay. We already have a doctor, so we're good. Tidying is, well, yeah. Alright, you got the short end of the stick with a very good set of traits, but terrible interests. Sorry, bud. Let's call him the Thimble. Oh, it's so nice seeing more gold finally coming out. Yes. Once this is completely vented, then this will be pretty much taken care of and fully automated. Other than that, yeah, we're doing pretty good. And Frey getting so wet, but that's beside the point. How is our excess water? Probably lower that down. Got one tank full of water, one that's slowly filling with water, but a while. Okay, good. That's all getting cleaned up finally. 223. We're so close to backing up the crude. That's a concern. Keep looking at it like, not good. Not good. Oh boy. Oh my god. Glad my dupes can't go into the B chamber at the moment. They vacuumed it completely out, but so much radiation. Almost as much as my core generator over here. When these things collide with each other, it's like 15.8k. That is if they collide with each other. It's rare, but it does happen. So finally clean out all of this stuff. That. I got the rockets back anyway. And I need 9. How's the refilling going? Ah, good, good. Probably start running the water disposal pipe. Oh god, yeah, I need to be running the water disposal pipe. Oh no, we're backing up. I had a feeling. I was like, I should probably go check on that. Yep. And you're making so much water that you have to dispose of it by still technically utilizing it up until the very last second. I'm using it to fill my rockets, and then if it gets beyond that point, it just gets vented into space. There's really nothing I can do about it. We're producing way too much water. I was originally firing it off via the cannons, and even with that, it was still not enough to get rid of it all. I can send it to other planets though, so that's kind of nice. I don't need it here because we have one full steam vent, and it pretty much backs up the entire system. Because of course it does. It's complete overkill. Which is nice. Very good thing. I could technically send it here. There is sources of water though, so I don't really think it's worth it. Drapola doesn't technically have a source of water. Well, kind of. I can utilize slime, process it in algae, and produce polluted water, and then use the polluted water to make puffs, which will also produce more slime. And also the excess water can be utilized for other things anyway, and also the dupes are technically self-cycling. our giant reprocessor. But I could send more water over, I guess, over here for this thing. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, it's time to start refilling the rocket. So let me re-angle all of our particle accelerators. You know what? We could start sending more water again. Because why not? Originally going to use this one as the food launcher. Obviously, these will get scooted over to here in a later date. Yeah. And it should work out okay. All nice and organized now, so I think we're good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're okay. Let that run. Kick it back up to 95. There we go. That'll run until it's emptied. Shouldn't have to worry about our water situation anymore. Nope. What is entombed? Oh no. I had some sand fall on my steam turbine. Dang it. To be honest, it's still faster for them to run back, hit up the fire pole, and then go back up. Dang it. Oh, might as well at least get that built. Yeah. This will be a long process of work. A lot of things that need to get done. I still don't know how I'm going to deal with that. 1,400 degrees. Good news is most of the stuff around is CO2 and chlorine, which doesn't transfer temperature, like, at all. So that's pretty good. That's a backup problem. Pretty bad. In theory, I could add a second pump. Actually, no, that wouldn't work. If I want to keep it automated, I couldn't do it. Hmm. Not to mention, I'm already at the limit. Oh. Sixers, do your best not to overfill the system, and we'll hope. We'll hope that bug gets fixed before we have, excuse me, more problems. Water, that can't go down right. There we go. Dupes. Digging, high priority, please clean up so that way we can get rid of the warning. In case one of you actually gets entombed, I would like to have that as the proper warning instead of that one. Would be best. Okay, I can stay off. That is temperature regulated. This one needs to become temperature regulated. I need to plan out where I'm going to put the giant cooling loop. I think in here. Scoop the fish over for the most part. I need a similar steel. Crap. Almost below 200 kilograms. Almost. Ay, ay, ay. Manufactured materials, steel, high priority. We've only Dean's current errand and Keo. Keo. That'll do. And the water and the rest of it. Do that first. Just to be able to make sure that we can get the cooling lift up. Lex, why are you... You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Carry on. I don't know what you're doing, but sure. I question my dupe's sanity, as well as my own sometimes. Okay, this will need to be steel. That. one needs to go there. That. This needs to be expanded off to the left. Let me make a gold one. I always enjoy making them out of gold. Why the hell not? I'm gonna gold plate everything, then I'm gonna gold plate everything. By default. Okay, dudes. Keep the ball rolling. Probably remove this one. This one you need to make sure it stays in there, but the rest are like emergency only kind of thing. Yeah, cooling box definitely over here. Top box here, cooling loop over here. We're gonna take the cobalt through the insulated tiles here. Might actually need to put it there. I might have to open up that vacuum box and allow the cobalt to go through it and then poke out through here into the cool box. Whereas the gold is going to do the exact same thing from this side and do that. Otherwise I can just put one over here. Not going to be draining too much power, but then on the other hand, then it also has quite a bit of energy, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. It is a concern, but not one of... No. Not a high priority concern. Yeah, we will see. Something about the excess hydrogen that we've got laying around. Cleaned all that up. pretty much all I've got left is this. Hmm. Well, it's progressing. Progressing smoothly at least. Grant the debate. Okay, they're not cramped anymore. We get it? I have no idea. I am severely concerned about the funk of the crude oil. 191. It's getting there. Hurry up, pump. Also, long-haired Sexter, I would not recommend staying in that room. You won't live very long. As a precaution, I don't recommend that. Oh no, the cobalt actually ran into the water. This is why we got all the steam release. Oh well. That's relatively okay. You can mop that way. I dupe. There you go. Yeah, this is why we have to use insulated tiles the whole way. So. On that one. Here. Yep. Assuming the 847 degree cobalt touched water. Yep. Like, I wonder what touched it. Oh, yeah, the ultra hot. Got it. I'm just gonna shove a container down there and put it all in there. That is no longer dropping off there anymore. But it was still hot from before and it just never cooled down. Pretty sure the germs got erratic. Yeah, they did. It got so hot it just vaporized all the slime hung around it. Poor germs. Oh yeah, 300% growth, and then, yep, 100 through dying, 367% kill rate. Yeah. That's hot. That is hot. Find metals, cobalt. Oops, please move the molten material. Like, now. There's 8.2 tons of it that needs to be brought down here, where it's somewhat safe. I got the steam water is the only portion of it left. All the blue water just got vaporized instantly. That's funny. Okay. 10.6 tons of 835.9 speed. Oh. Yeah, boy. That's some hot stuff. Let that simmer down there in the water and ignore it. We have to wait a while for that to cool down, but it will eventually. That real quick. There we go. Safe now, and we don't really have to worry about it too much. Worried about the water situation over here, but seems to be okay. If I need to, I can always just send it off. Probably sever that. We don't need it. I am just crushing the CO2 at this point, using just a very basic crusher setup. Base is good. 182. How bad is it? Not that bad, but it could get worse. I have concerns. Temperature is down to 290, 255, 264 over here, but 284 where it matters. Nuclear reactors going here. The rest of this will have to get cleaned out as well. I'm happy when I can finally start cleaning this up. Oh, actually, I'll be happy when I can clean this one up. Once I have a nuclear reactor online, we should be able to generate enough nuclear waste to generate enough rad volts to run probably 5 or 6 nuclear rockets to a point where I won't need to care. Obviously, that also means that this pipe will have to go all the way down here, which means that this fridge pipe will have to be separated. This one will be removed. Nope. OBS down again. Damn it, OBS, what the hell? Dang you! Again. Oh, it is 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock on the dot, and it died. Going to assume something with Twitch or my ISP. Less likely the ISP, but Twitch likes to be an asshole sometimes and do this. Mostly because they're switching over connections on the hour. It happens. It's annoying though. I'm exactly on the dot at 5 a.m. Based on Google. So, I assume it was probably something along those lines. Check on my ISP. Oh no, I'm still connected to the internet. It's just OBS. Well that's not good. Internet, you gonna die on me, or is it literally just OBS? Oh, no, it's just OBS. God damn it. Okay, okay. Well, we can wait. Oh, you can definitely wait. That's annoying. 2 in a row, pretty much. Well, 2 within an hour and a half of each other. There's chat. Welcome back, chat. Currently just waiting on OBS to properly reconnect. Come on, OBS. You can do it. It's gonna do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reconnection successful. Hooray! Welcome back, Twitch, and also YouTube. Oh, actually, YouTube never left me. And that's mostly because the recording is being done on my end. Yeah, welcome back, chat. It seems that OBS just died on me. I thought it was the internet too, but when I went to check, nope, it was just OBS. Great. It also took care of the, pretty much crashed the creator dashboard. It's all back now. So, welcome back, Twitch. Now then, let's see here. They're working their asses off. Thankfully, because Oxygen Included has a pause button, not really a big deal. It's mildly annoying for me, but that's really about it. It's working. Hanging out. Right. Yuki. Oh, everything else is working fine, so that's good. And it's back down to being chilled. Okay. They're about on me a bit. Gold. Replace that. Thinking. Where is my decor values? I'll do gold there. There we go. Protecting as much decor as humanly possible. Oh, the nipples are filled. What do we get today? The quick learning with small bladder problem, they're only tidying. Tucker, if you came with research, I would take you in an instant. It's pain. Okay, Lindsay, flying one, researching, digging. Or digging. You have undigging. Sorry, bud. Not happening. And then Hassan with a wrenching 4, digging 3, gourmet, which is a no-go, and small bladder, which that's actually a good thing. Small bladder is actually weirdly a good perk. It's the decrease of the bathroom times is the bad one, whereas small bladder makes it so they produce more water. So it's actually a positive perk. You just have to schedule an extra bathroom tile on your actual scheduling failed. And earth leaves, sure. Too weak and too generic of duplicants. Also just bad interest in comparison to their traits, which sucks, to be honest. 175. We're almost there. Hold on a little longer, Slicksters. Refrigerator food. Okay. Did finally move it in. Good. Okay. That over. Good. So much green. Oh, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's all gold, so. Eventually, the entire base over here will be made of gold. Why? Well, I can plate everything. So who cares? I do need to tap this thing and set this one up. It requires quite a bit of setup. Let's just do that. First thing, sealed off like this. I only need 1, 2, 3. No. This is actually excess. Good, good. Come around on top, do that. Should push this up this way. Hopefully. Crossing fingers, don't explode. And... Yep, there we go. We have a little bit of polluted water drippage over here. Fine. Up, 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 up. Eh. What do you mean unreachable take? You guys can climb right through. Yeah. Okay, fine. Like that. I will force the issue. There. This also makes them run 50% faster, so as long as I completely gold plate like a couple strips, then there's ability to get around the base is going to be dramatically improved. Okay, good. Probably just leave the camera over here in the corner. 59, good. All this is going smoothly. Obsidian-wise, I need to seal this in. So... I'll need to put petroleum here, and petroleum here, if I can help it. All this needs to just be water, actually. I need like, probably that much of water for the entire box. And this entire power system will get distributed on up to the main base grid, which is over here. Bring it all the way up. Petroleum boiler is here, and possibly over here, so that means the heavy wire needs to go all the way up to about here, over, up, up, up. You know what? Yeah, screw it. I'll take it through here, and connect it up to that. That'll work. It's a hell of a lot of resources. But it's definitely worth it. Oh. Needs toilets. Oops. I just made it. 93%. Spoon. 93%. Okay. Not maximize digging all of that up first. Now it'll fall all the way down and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, good. He's gonna make it to the bathroom. Problem. I need to pick that up. Also, cobalt there. And thermal sensor there. Let me set this level to 9. Get around to building it whenever they need to build it. There we go. I'll be setting up the other gold volcano, and then we'll have to do cobalt. I'm thinking we'll just reincorporate this actual cooling loop in the same way that we did with the previous one. Yeah, but oh. Construction. No, we don't need that as a steel. I have I do have wolframite. Right, instead. There we go. setting this up so that way I can add in a gold cooling loop. So. I'll also have to slap in a battery. Guess I'll do it over here. I mean, technically speaking, this thing is self-powering for the most part. I do have a wheel applied, but yeah. Eventually I'll just get this all plugged into the actual power grid. And these will, for the most part, be just completely self-powering, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. This is the one I have to actually be careful of. That's really about it. I mean, technically, when this turns on, there's enough energy to start the system. This then distributes the heat throughout the entire box. These start running at full capacity, this charges, and then it just runs until it runs out of energy, which is when the gold volcano actually burns out. Obviously, the cobalts need way more power, and the cooling loops for them need more power, but they themselves are pretty stable. Okay, 155 and closing, good. Keep that up. You need to seal this room. That's sealed. We can actually connect it to the actual steam room, aka the industrial brick. And we can go in from there. Also, once I get enough gold, I will be replacing all of the wires in my entire base. Which, it's a lot, but it's all completely balanced, so it's perfectly balanced as all things should be. It's a lot of wires. I'm just happy to see that it's like, congratulations, it's a giant, fully balanced super grid. Those are always fun to make. Come on. Come on. Epics, I know your actual, like, construction is quite terrible. Yeah. You have everything else going for you but that. That and cuisine. The science I can pretty much just rapidly teach people with radioactive plants if I need to. Okay. To shut these off, I just put them on their own grid, so I'll just sever this connection. It's not really a big deal. If anyone's wondering. That wire needs to be removed anyway, so it's not that big of an issue. Oh, we have a cuddle, Pip. Good job, Pip. We rolled a 2% success rate. Nice job. How is the water situation? Oh, it's fine. Tons and tons and tons of water. Outside, I need to pump it somewhere. I think I could just shove it. Thanks. Hmm. What fluids do we have in here? Naphtha. Okay. Get that up before I do that. Thousand kilograms of naphtha. That's actually really good. I might need that. Thanks, Pass Me. Pretty sure I sent that over, but I was like, I might need it to lock down one of these. Oh, we got a skill point. I'm gonna get art fundamentals, so I can give them the art fundamental hat. I'm gonna give them the full research tree, and allow them to actually start doing stuff. The issue was that we do have moved it already. Tumbleweed. Yep, there they are. I have a bigger question. Where do I want to grow them? In theory, I just put a pip over here in the corner, move all these plants, and then we should be good to go. Also, let's see. If I need to send over more water, I can. I might need to make sure I can pipe this connection point. I can! Hooray! Water's getting into space anyway, so why not use it for something else? I know, some of the ice melted. Oops. Yep, that was ice melt. That's slightly too warm. Just enough. Just enough to cause a problem. Might need to seal this room in. Doors here, put that there. Reach the pip in. Come on down himself. You know what? That might entice the pip to come down. Maybe we'll see. Don't need to clean that mess up down there. Not too big of a deal. Alright, that. Steam flood kind of screwed up stuff, but oh, it'll be fine. So much slime. So much slime and so much slime lung. So happy when we finally clean up all the slime in here and move it all out. Oh, radiation warnings? Oh, yeah. As long as they didn't go in here, we're fine. All cleaned. That's getting there. Still holding out. Good. Anybody injured? Nope. Massive amount of water directly into this room. Fine. To be honest, I'll probably do that and just to allow the removal of other materials. There's just all the excess polluted oxygen down here. This water's at 87 degrees. Best thing in the world, but it'll do. I'm gonna hold off on doing it anymore. Should be plenty. We'll vent the rest of space. Don't have to worry about it. Oh, and the other extremely hot water all the way through. Hooray, they finished. Okay, cool. Now comes the fun part. And all of that. This. That. here, clean all of this out. Ladder our way in, move the heavy wad in, link everything together, and that should be fully functional. Soon. I have a lot of freaking sand. I will have all the table salt I'll ever need again. My dupes will never not have table salt ready. Downside, it'll be kind of hot. Don't know how I'm going to cool that down. Shouldn't really be that big of a deal because it's literally 5 grams per table, so we'll be okay. Somebody left some obsidian around. God damn it. What the heck? Yeah, don't leave really hot materials around, guys, please. That's why we have problems. Should send this polluted dirt elsewhere. Yeah, well. I know mine gets brought up here and destroyed anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Okay, good. Now, job. 1. Time. And finally come in here. Heavy want. Iron to the best of my abilities. Let's see. Amalgam on those two. Clean that up. Need to do. Steel auto sweeper. There. Shoot. Right there. Can I be cheeky and figure out a way to put one of these up here? In theory, I could do that, but there's one to stand. Oh, that would probably get away from me. power wire. Oh. Maybe it's still tell me to draw bring again. Nope, nope. Randomly had a hiccup for a second. This I want. Movable ore, salt. 9 priority. Power grid has room. That one does. Downside. That's gonna look derpy as all hell. Hmm. Alright, yeah, I'll be fine. I wonder if I can actually put stuff in here. Like, increase morale. Or like increase decor. What would be the overheat temperature of this thing? It's gonna look like crap in here no matter what I do, so. Unless I can get space artifacts. Then I can meme my way to victory. This and lies the problem. Like, if I want to run people through here, I kind of need to add stuff behind them. Bigger issue is, it doesn't really fit. Not well, anyway. I have some painting. What is your 1,000? Oh yeah, but they're fine. Okay, let's see what we got. Ruby, green thumb, building impaired, narcoleptic. Not bad. Tidying, operating. Not matching your traits though. Especially with the building impaired. For an operator. It is not something I want. Building impaired again. Researching, operating, and tidying. Buff and caregiver with Ludite. That is terrible. Sorry, Joshua, you got screwed. And Nesbit, innately stylish. Not bad. Germ resistant. Undigging. Cannot do excavation. Supplying, operating. Early on, I would have probably taken Nisbet. Not the worst dupe I've ever seen, but not good. This is the one that actually hurts. Building impair wasn't here. And say critter, like, I don't know. Not critter reversion. Maybe bathroom? I'd probably take it. But obviously, because they're building impaired, their ability of being a mechatronics engineer is automatically scrapped. So we'll just take the water. And we'll take the water over on Ebola. Why not? Free water after all. Please finish that really quickly. This thing automated. Fish medium, I want 4. Cup. 2 bins, sorry, 3 bins for sand, 1 for salt. Last one, I don't know. I'll figure something out. I actually might. I'm gonna go ahead and do a conveyor loader. Problem is that I need to cool the salt. Oh no. Man down. Kind of. Using this Commander Hellshot. Up. Commander Hellshot, no. Not the suit. Damn it, man. He's gonna piss everywhere the second he comes out. I can't have him take his suit off in here, even though I'd really love to. So we could just burn off the excess polluted water. I can't justify it. Downside, I have to clean this. Yeah, I know. You pissed yourself. Fine. Please clean up. Obsidian. Very hot obsidian. Oops. Don't leave that there. $116. Okay. We are making a lot of progress. Very good. No idea what we're gonna do with that. Table saw. Right now, I want edible. Not sure it was an edible. Not. Manufactured. Miscellaneous? Miscellaneous. There we go. I need to do that. And go. That. And clean that up. With the power of decor bombing, go! Make everything green. Also increase your movement speed. Wait, when you get down here, it's much faster from over there to over here. Food at. Good. See a food indicator, gotta check in case. Like keeps getting hurt. Hot naphtha. Don't know where to put it though. I don't think we'll need it for a little while. For the most part. I was assuming I might need it for building a liquid lock into a gold volcano or into the cooling loop. So I'm going to end up building a large-scale cooling box, pretty much like right here for the cobalt over here, and then also a big one here for the golds, and probably the excess cobalt. And I'll probably want to build a liquid lock so I can get in and out in case anything goes wrong during the spooling up of it. Because once it's stabilized, I should be seeing a gradients of about 150 degrees in the material. Probably not the water, definitely the material, for sure. Grams of table salt. Great success. Finally start seeing actual amounts of table salt. Again, no downside. I don't know where I'm going to put a cooling loop to cool it down because, again, it's being made in the industrial brick because we're steaming off the water in the industrial brick. So, I have no idea. Probably turn this back on, actually. I forgot we don't need that anymore, technically. The CO2 is still going. To think I'm doing all of this for salt and sand. Just excess salt and sand. It's like, I need to process it. I haven't been able to use it this entire time. Been hundreds of cycles and I keep staring at it and going, they must fit this in here some way. Some way, fashion, or form. It must be in here. Good news is that this will increase their strength. Yep. So saying we now technically have infinite salt and actually build infinite sand properly. Besides utilizing polluted dirt with the bookshelves. When does the next projection of cooling happen? 12.9. And all this yellow will turn blue. That's what it does. 15.6 still. 5.4 tons of nuclear waste. We'll be hitting 10,000 soon. Once that warms up. Oh, so close. Oh, god dang close. Stop the water flow again. One, 281. Yep. Still hot. It's too hot for steel up anything down there right now. Real quick. Let me just high priority that. Uh-oh. Um... Oh, that's a lot of water. Dupes, can you take care of that real quick? Just vent that into space. That's all the excess ice. Thought I picked up most of the ice, but I guess a little bit still melted in there. Anyway, you're leaking in space? Why does it look like we're leaking? Not there. Huh. Shouldn't be leaking. Thing isn't open. I'm about to open the door. There we go. Yep. There it goes. I may still need to end up adding a carbon skimmer like right here. Downside, I really don't want to. We're only slightly producing more CO2 than we are consuming with our current setup. Might add matter. Nope. Game. Let me select the bottom one, please. Thank you. Of those. Also, let me manual use. Do not do slowly. I want filtration medium. Sand. Good. Where's that still coming? There we go. Come on, bud. There you go. Higher priority than that. And set that back to auto. Oops, where are you guys? Thank you. And that's stable. Really just need them to run this. that over there. There we go. Very well, I'm gonna shoot this at the base. Downside is that it will definitely fall straight down. You know what? You can just combine the two. Thinking about it, and so I was like, yeah, maybe. Like that, so it accidentally, for some reason, try to do some weirdness when we save and load the game. Yeah. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, 89 kilograms. It's being so close. We've almost fixed the bug problem. Hopefully never again this tile will disappear on me. Actually, both of them. They didn't even get crushed. They just disappeared. Probably because of a technically save. When I loaded the game, they were gone. You know? My best guess is the game, when I saved it, the falling liquid tile was supposed to calculate here. So what happened was it just deleted both of them completely. Poof, gone. Ain't great. Certainly isn't a good thing, but hopefully that doesn't happen again. That used to be a really old bug, but I didn't think it was back. How wrong I was. Probably some really weird calculation thing that's occurring in the background. The way it happened, my best guess. And going up. Okay. Much better. How's the slime lung doing? Still a nuisance. Not as bad. It's pretty much been removed from up here. The radioactive beams from space. Alright, for cosmic background radiation. Still slime picks around here and there. Guess they'll dig up most of it. Algae. I should probably force the dupes to do a manual delivery up to space. Get it out of the base for the most part. dump it in the container where it belongs. Ah, good sand. Technically, I could build a automated pickup system for this. It's just a pain in the butt. It's not actually a joke. It's definitely a pain in the butt to make one. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not a fun experience to produce one. Also, let me quickly pictures. Swap these with gold. Should dramatically reduce the overall temperature loss over here, well, temperature gain over here and along this corridor. Probably one tile right there of gold to improve the actual temperature transfers. Sorry, you guys are getting exposed to so many slime, so much slime one. Flush it down the drain. It'll get eradicated by the radiation inside the piping system. There's a reason I left all of my pipes and tanks up in the radiation. There we go. Much more effective. My downside is they might grab some super hot gold. Kinda doubt they will. Gold's up down to 53. Fine. Will need to be taken care of eventually. That is a future me problem. That's not a current me problem or past me's problem. It will become past me's problem. Not yet. There we go. Much better. Those two finished, and we're good to go. So, how is the slime lung on that? 5.4 million. Good news, 51% death rate with a 3% dead cycle exposed to radiation. That's very good. As long as I'm seeing like over 1% from radiation, we're good. Because that means it's going to just dunk that. And the temperature is already falling. Good. Yep. Nice and temperature controlled. The way it was meant to be. Cold. Certain areas are just completely frozen. Like Mine is looking better. All blobs here. Most. Yeah. Soon all of the slimeling will be removed. I don't have to worry about it. I'll be happy because then we can really just focus on developing the entire base. Or the moving slime all over the place. You know? What? We're getting back up crude oil here, but eh? Whatever. I don't know what the hell is going on in there. This area is acting up. I don't think it's part of a chunk order. A little bit. It might be. Chunk border's like right here. Goes down and up. I don't think that is. It might be. I don't know. Hard to tell. If it is, that would explain the weirdness with it. I have no idea. Like, technically the only way crude oil can get in there is from the petroleum generator. And this little bit of damage is from the little bit of ethanol floating around in here somewhere. Unless it got crushed. Might have been crushed due to the pressures. We are up to 600 kilograms. 600 kilograms. CO2 in there. I don't know. This is almost cleaned out after these two tiles got self-deleted. So we will see what happens. That's super weird though. That's all I'm gonna say. Core is slowly cooling down. Soon we can put a nuclear reactor down here. Soon. Vicky, what is your athletics stat? Okay, I'm gonna need to do. I know. You have hypothermia. Never mind. Ion toggling. You're operating. Now you'll run on the wheels. Must be talent cleanup going. Going quite well. We're up to 738,000 on barbecue. Done. All of this up. We'll need to vent all of this. I only want steam in here. We'll just make sure we get those built. Now we do principles. Stinky with cooking +7, hard digging, caregiver, and cultured bottomless stomach now. Ren with researching and building, quick learner, interior decorator, and irritable bowels. Ren's not bad. And Ellie was suit wearing iron gut pacifist. Ren is tempting, but again, I really only need ranching researchers. Or sorry, farming researchers. Ranching mechatronics engineers. Ranching cooks. Rocket, the actual rocket engineer researchers. Rocket mechatronics. Rocket cooks. It's really kind of like our bracket right now. Is trying to get him upgraded with ranching from level 0. Even with quick learner is not gonna be fun. Not to mention the morale loss in with researching. Not great. I think we're gonna take the nutrient bars. Our base can handle up to about 38 dupes. That's the main base. Obviously, we have 3 off-world that are part of the main base, and then everyone else is kind of operating out of their micro bases. No, I wouldn't really call this a micro base anymore, or Butalin. This one is a full-grown, fully sustainable base that requires very little input from me, which is very good. I'm just cleaning up the rest of the map. I do need to get this volcano going. I need to get Squeaky Puffs going. I need to get the petroleum boiler going, as well as the sour gas boiler's infrastructure needs to be built. So that's for these guys to slowly work their way through. Pretty much in that order. Sour gas is going to be last. I have to get enough super coolant before we can actually push that. That's a given. Also thermium too. Gonna definitely need that. I can make a microtized one, but I want to do full size like I normally do. I don't think I'll make anything absurd, but we don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how big I'm gonna make it. I have a relativistically reasonable expectation of a sour gas boiler, even though sour gas boilers are, you know, insane. Amazing marvels of engineering that are just absolutely absurd. They're also like 1000% overkill. And I am okay with that. That. Oh, but one nice strip. The downside is that this side will be only 3 tall, and this one will actually be tall here. Mostly because of the volcanoes themselves being in the way. We're gonna do that. But they are getting much closer to being completed. It's a good thing. Let us do obsidian. I really think I'll need obsidian here. It'll fall down here, steam off, problem solved. Priority that. That one up. That one. There you go. Yeah, that's speed substantial. Can't part of zoom. Maximum speed. Meow. Well, the base is looking a hell of a lot better than it was earlier. These last 2 episodes have been definitely workhorse episodes for sure. I still gotta get the fridge online before all this ice ends up warming up too much. Still holding strong, but I need the fridge here. We'll have to be insulated, the fridge entrance will be on this side. All the food will be getting dumped in there. come up here. I'll just take this route through here, bring it in there with a chlorine box. Or CO2. Still debating. Probably chlorine. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, how much radiation is there? A little bit. Probably live with a CO2 box. I can keep around like 6 rads. Yeah, we could probably do CO2. I'm already making CO2 on demand as I need it. Which isn't the worst thing in the world. Let's see. Just fully kitted up. Technically, I need to put in like 4 more of these, or actually, 3.2. Oh yeah, I need 4 total. 3.2, 3.3. Get the exact calculation off the top of my head. It is looking a hell of a lot better than it was. And this is starting to get done. The geothermal igneous rock sensor. I still don't know what I'm going to do with the igneous rock. It'll be down to 124 degrees. After that, I might probably figure out some sort of cooling loop over here and then send it off to other planets, I guess. We will probably actually need it for the water world. There's definitely... I mean, the water world, I've always had issues of it just never having enough land to be able to build on it. I have to pretty much just port everything over using railguns. Oh, Infaust! You beautiful bastard. Finally came down to accept the marble block. Good job. I'm forgetting, what is your... Your creativity is only 14. Not bad. But, looks good. Be good. 42 decor value. Not even gonna... Well, actually it is making it dense. I see a tiny patch of green. It's like, how much red do I need because of all the heavy watt? I'll be able to cut all this in half when we switch everything over to gold. So this will probably expand to about here. That's about it. It looks good. Looks really good. Just that when my dupes are working on crushing sand, well, salt into sand, and table salt, I get to enjoy that. I'll give them that. I'll be so happy when this is finally clean, because then I can expand this down, make this the steam box. Yeah, this will pretty much be a vacuum. These will be vacuumed. Everything over here will be vacuumed out. Probably just hydrogen in for the bees. Just gonna build the bee nest over here. Probably bee nest here, and then I will put more pips going all the way down. Probably to about here. In this area, I don't really know what we'll do. I might make it a nuclear waste storage facility right here. And we have an infinite supply, but I do need an actual, like, pumpable area. That way I can start shipping it off to other planets. Which will either be maybe here? Yeah, probably here actually. I'm going to move the interplanetary launchers over the solar panels, and we're just going to put diamond window tiles to allow the light through, because these things don't block any light, as you can see. So yeah, I'll probably just do diamond window tiles over these and then ship all the resources out using them. And this rocket will be scooted. The particle accelerator will go here, but it will be firing off this way and then refilling the rocket this way. So I'll just take another red bolt reflector, probably put it like right up here. Because once you get one of these things, and it's actually in a good spot with, say, a wrecked satellite like this, you can really push the radiation. Like, I can probably push this up to like 100,000 like kilograms worth of nuclear waste and just go to town. Obviously, my dupes can't walk into the beam or the room, so there's that. That would be really, really bad. So, it just won't. That would be the best option. 53 kilograms. We're so close. So close to cleaning up that like bug issue. I have no other way to describe it. The tiles self-deleted themselves. They didn't even get crushed or anything. Poof. Soon. Soon you will be back online. Kind of hanging out in pockets. As expected. I do need to move this battery. I was thinking about putting the carbon skimmer for the base right here. It's in good proximity to where all the water piping would go. Because the fridge is going to be in here, so this will be a cooling loop. And it's right there, and then I can ship the water. I can actually add more of these right there. I need to put another natural tile right here to make this into a full-blown nature reserve. As well as probably get another 3 oxyferns. 3 oxyferns naturally planted for as long as they're the default. I mostly just get rid of the excess CO2. Obviously, you need way more to actually produce enough oxygen for all of them, but seeing we're not really caring about that, we're mostly move the CO2. If I remember correctly. If you're trying to actually produce oxygen, you need 4, and they can't be naturally planted. Yeah. 31.3 grams per second. We need 4 per to get enough oxygen per dude. It'd have to be non-naturally produced. If you're just trying to get rid of the CO2, it's not that bad. Obviously, just brush electrolyzers. Like the very first thing you should always actually include is your electrolyzer setups. And bottoms are self-powering. Their entire thing is a self-powering oxygen machine. So it's like, yeah, just get this. This is a mini Rodriguez, for anyone wondering. 2 electrolyzers and 3 gas pumps. Animation is 900. If you want, this will actually overproduce hydrogen. So normally what you'll want to do is add a OR gate and set up a cycle sensor. That way you can burn off the excess. I really don't need this power from this anymore, but I still need the oxygen. Like I really should just ramp that up a little. But I won't. I prefer just keeping the automation going. Our oxygen feed here. Pips, can you please recover the cuddle pip? The poor thing's stuck in the door again. Why are my animals getting stuck indoors? You! Why are you in the door? I still don't know how you got there. My best guess was that a dupe dropped an egg in here. Or this... No, actually no, I couldn't have. Because it's not in the selection list. I'm gonna guess dupe dropped it in there, or carried it in and it hatched in their hand. That's my best guess. I got nothing. Like, I have no idea how that happened. This one actually hurts. I'm like, how are you here? You've been having a hugging spree, meaning that a dupe came over and hugged you in the door. Oh, the poor Pip. I truly have no idea. You know what? I'm gonna sever the connection. Same thing. We'll just run off of the carbon skimmer. We're making enough oxygen. I don't really need to worry about it. I just want to see if the one carbon skimmer can handle the 5 dupes that are here. Pretty sure it can. I don't think we really need the oxyferns to be actually planted. Obviously, the downside is I would need to get them planted over here by the pips. If I want to actually utilize them properly. $50. Getting very close. Kilograms, good. All the map up. 9 cycles. Sadly, that'll be the next episode. But it is looking pretty good. How many germs are left in you? 1.7. Radiation's getting up to about 9%. Very good. Very, very good. Pressure seconds. Freeze in there. Come on, erupt. Need more gold. I need more panels. I need that decor bonus. I really don't, but I just want to. Hand it over. Provide me with my resources. Come on. Come on. And... there we go. 300 degrees there. 200 there-ish. 70. There goes the tiles. It comes out on the other side at 31 degrees. I'm gonna just touch this tile and it's gone. So good. Yeah, I definitely need to make a cooling lip through some gold tiles to really absolutely freeze out all of the resources. Also, Paco, where did my God's creature did you come from? What's that? He's just floating there and he fell into the water. He went up into that upper area and then came back down. I don't know how that works, but sure. Why not? Cycle 1,240. Well, we want to get over here at Kellen, the main thing. I would be filling up the rocket, but we needed to send more sand over. The good news is we discovered today a ice planet with the iron volcanoes. Yesterday, we got the tungsten volcanoes. So both of these are now targets, which means I also need to fully actually develop Derpola, which is now pretty much front and center. Thankfully, I still gotta tame all of this area and shred all of it, and get all the plug slugs into this little box. So they don't get anything. I think renewable taming is first, and then cleaning this out, and setting up nuclear. I think in that order for the most part. I'm going to want nuclear rockets to get all the way over here, or all the way over here, as quickly as possible. Also, I'm definitely going to want to be looting that one. Only care for that one. Yeah, these two. I need the aluminum. And it's going to be very, very busy. I am okay with it. Main base obviously still needs the... I need my molten core to cool down before I can fully utilize it, but we're very close. Once we get it down to about 200, then I'll be able to put in everything. Start cleaning out everything. I need to vacuum these. I can't really do it until we get below 200 for the actual... 275. I can start now, almost. 279. 80 in there. 277. So close. So close to clean up. Not quite there. Very damn close though. I am... Go faster. Go faster, Steve Turbine. Also, this mess is almost cleaned up. So that'll be good. Fine. Well, how goes basic cleanup? Ah, good. Finally digging. Good, good. Okay. I think that's all she wrote for tonight. Drop a save. Confirm it. Recycle 240. Ah, that's a lot of progress. We literally like are strip mining Derpola, and I am. Oh, yes, go dupes. Work a little faster, please. That makes me so happy. Okay, guys. I am content with that. I don't know about you guys, but this has definitely been a fun playthrough so far. Definitely a lot harder than my other ones, for sure. Mostly just due to the lack of space on the main asteroid. I think that'll do it for episode 30 or 73, though. Yep, that definitely will.